Thank you so much, Naveen. I feel honored to be part of this talk that you have, and we're always continuing much success in in your pursuits here. Yeah, I just got back from Cornell University last week, where I was a keynote speaker. I also did some workshops with the students because I collaborated with the Cornell Biomedical Device team. They're a team of bioengineering and biomedical engineers that are part of a CUBMD project device team, and they've actually developed a pulse oximeter called Melanoxy, and just so happened that I've been wanting to write this white paper for a while, and I actually sponsored them, and just so happened that they were developing this, and I was like, hey, let me just use this as a case study in the paper. And then they took it a step further and said, well, why don't we be contributors or co-authors with you of the paper? And it really, what an amazing experience that has been. And I hope that everyone here will get a chance to read the full. We just released it yesterday morning.
Sure thing, yeah. And in this white paper, you are talking about this topic of equity in design controls, right? And tell us what that is and why it is important.
Yeah. So last year, when I was working at Google, I had already implemented the quality management system there, got them 13485 certified, then moved on to establish global policy. But someone had posted an article on LinkedIn about faulty pulse oximeters during COVID that misdiagnosed people's oxygen levels during COVID. And I had no idea about biased devices up until last year, and it made me feel bad because, hey, I'm an African American female, right? I've been in the device industry for over 25 years, and I have been on design teams. And why did it even never occur to me to think about or consider people of different, race, like basically considering the demographics of the people that we're going to launch the product to. And also during COVID, I've lived in New York and Long Island, and I had family that lived in Queens that was the worst place where a lot of people were dying, of this horrific disease. And it made me think all they had to do when they developed the oximeter was just consider skin tone requirements and make sure the oximeter was recalibrated to read all different skin tones. And then I did more research, and I said, well, wait a minute, the FDA is really focusing more on the design validation aspect of making sure clinical trials accurately represent, the proper races of people. But I said, wait a minute, but by the time you get to design validation, the devices are already built in bias. So you're going to have anomalies, but because these are not FDA regulations to consider, health equity principles, if by the time they develop that device, they're just going to record it as an anomaly and then just move on.